Hello, everybody. This is Spods or Jake from the Arctic YouTube channel. We are back explaining yet another episode of Minecraft Ultra Hardcore with everyone's favorite co-host, Danny.
Hello, guys. It's Captain Jesus here, everybody's favorite green skin friend here. And we have another guest in this episode today.
Yes, that is right. He is a miner, not a mine-or. It is James the Douglas.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming. Nice
I'm
swimming.
sorry, was it? Yeah, brilliant.
No, let's just jump right into it right away. If you're not gonna listen to everything we have to say, we are gonna have timestamps in the description for when we change subject. So if you want to hear about a specific team, go ahead, scroll down there, and adjust to the time in the description. Otherwise, thank you for coming along for the whole ride. We're gonna start off now with Gob2, Good's team, who starts their episode off in the ravine.
Yeah, in the ravine here, they're cutting down trees most of the episode, finding very little apples. I believe they find just one or two throughout the episode. They had diamonds from past episodes. They're going to make 4 diamond swords here very quickly. 2 sharpness 1s, and then they're going to combine 2 other sharpness 1s into a sharpness 2 diamond sword, which will give them a bit of a PvP advantage here. They're going to get 2 Prot 2 chest plates in this episode, iron, obviously, which will increase their armor here, and I believe 4 power 2 bows in this episode.
Yes, this all happens very quickly too. The last half of the episode was kind of slow, but they're just combining stuff right away in the first half. And another thing that happens is Chad is just continuously growing trees. He converts all of his bones into bone meal like right away. I'm not sure if that was a sound strategy, being that another team does stuff with bones.
I was just wondering, did he not pick up something that they noticed during the episode?
Oh, yes, comes this episode. We have the case of the missing golden apple. Apparently, last episode, Breon crafted 2 golden apples, passed one to Good, passed one to Chad, and they don't count up the one that Chad got. He wanted to eat a golden apple, and there's not.
I don't remember him tossing it, but I have to go and rewatch it. But it just seems like a very abnormal thing to happen.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely crazy here.
And Chad was the center of a lot of crazy stuff this episode. I actually unironically said, "Oh my God, Chad," which is his username. But I was facepalming because not only did he eat a golden apple when he was only 2 hearts down, just in the ravine, he also the bone fiasco too. I mean, like he was clumsy. He was fooling around in this episode.
Yeah, he's going to convert all of his bones into bone meal here, which it doesn't hurt him yet, but if they find wolves on the surface, they won't be able to tame them. There's also going to be a witch, a close call with a witch here, where a member of the team gets hit by a splash potion and is incredibly lucky that it's just a slowness potion.
Yeah, Good only gets slowed down. The witch tries to follow it up with a poison potion, but only hits herself. Good tries to shoot down the witch. He wastes a lot of arrows because half the arrows go into the zombie, and he's not shooting at full power either.
Poor arrow usage, and later in the episode, Good's going to take 3 hearts of damage from skeletons exploring parts of the caves that were previously unexplored.
I'm wondering, how much gold in total has this team found? Do you have any figures on that?
Somewhere around 40,
yeah.
I would guess.
Okay.
Adventure.
So the despawn golden apple, that's 8 gold out of that, and then take off like 2 gapples worth for Good's health that he lost, and that's, that eats into the amount of gold they found and, limits it rather badly.
Yeah.
I know that they were saying in this episode that they have enough gold for 2 gapples, and then Good found some more, so that's 3. So they're limited by apple count right now, which is what Chad tried to fix nearly the entire episode, just doing nothing but growing trees. I mean, his luck ran out on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the first Minecraft UC episode that's been dedicated purely to growing trees and farming them.
Yeah, but we've never really seen a full episode dedicated to growing trees underground. Now, where purple team's luck is running out, green team's luck is kind of arguably increasing by the minute.
Yeah, I was waiting for their luck to run out here, but it does not happen in this episode, and it does not look to be it doesn't look like it's going to happen in the next episode either. They're going to get instant health 2 potions here. They're going to get splash potions of poison, extended versions, which we talked about the pros and cons of that.
Yeah, so James, would you care to explain which one do you prefer, Poison 2 or Poison Extended as a weapon?
Well, as Nebris pointed out, you probably in a PvP fight you probably want Poison 2 to do the damage quickly and just get it over with. But at the same time, if you're not willing to engage, that aggressively, then an extended poison wouldn't be a bad idea to drain people of healing and just kind of poke and prod at them and limit their resources in that way. So it's really just preference, really, and how the situation dictates.
Yeah, with extended poison, it could prevent people from eating a golden apple for a long time, I guess. But
Yeah.
then again, if you don't squarely hit the person, they're only going to get a couple seconds anyway.
Thing is,
extended or not.
they use absorption in Minecraft QHC, so if they're continuing to gapple and letting the absorption take it, then they won't lose health, but ultimately the waste gapples. So it's really having to figure out a good balance.
Yes.
Yes.
And speaking of finding a good balance, Jeff has to find a good balance of time here. Danny.
Yeah, Jeff does find a good balance of time here. There are a few things that Jeff does in this episode. First, at 7:13, he's going to be the first player to spot another team here, as he's going to spot Triangle. Now, we went back and we watched this. It took us about 10 minutes of looking at his perspective to find out where he sees these players. He looks to his right. He very quickly sees a name tag, and then he goes back underground.
Yes, and we reviewed the footage full screen, 1080p. We're talking 0.25 times speed. We saw absolutely no trace of it. And at first, we thought, oh, Jay Sano's just like tripping or something. But he digs. No, he goes back down while the team is brewing potions. By the way, he staircases up into sand earlier. He goes back down the staircase, not blocking it off from the surface, but filling up the whole staircase with dirt. I don't get that. And lo and behold, yeah, he sees Arcus's name tag. It's as clear as day. I have no idea how we spotted it the first time, but they definitely were there. So
yeah, Jay Sano, crazy huge in this episode. Another thing, 5:30 p.m. EST rolls around in this episode.
Yeah,
Jay Sano's got to go. He's got to pick up his kid.
The clock strikes 5:30. Jay Sano says he's gonna be right back. We're not sure how long this is gonna take. Oh, my bad. He digs in a hole. And he leaves his character unattended. Now, Nebris and Packrat aren't sure how long he's going to be back. They're saying, well, the world border's coming because Nebris sees the world border actually just enter their cave as Jay Sano leaves, right after he leaves. So, Nebris is thinking that he's going to be gone for like a good 20 minutes or so. So he's like, oh, well, what should we do? Should we like kill him? Does he have any valuable stuff? And turns out,
Well, behold, he just comes back.
He just comes back.
13, 14 seconds later, he's just back. He runs back to his chair, and they continue as normal. He pops an instant health too, and the team surfaces.
This team was just about to let go Jay Sano. They had a nice sign and everything. They planted a sign says "Border this way, run." And he comes back and reads the sign and runs. I mean, this is where the team name comes in. James, do you have the story for this?
No, I don't. Sorry.
Oh, well, that's no problem, because Jay Sano had to go across the streets to pick up his son from, I guess, like a play date or something. But people were thinking he had to leave for good, but he just had to go across the street. So that's... For the past 4 episodes, people were hyping it up to like, oh, he's gonna leave. He's gonna have to like fake a death or something. Apparently, Jay Sano told nobody that this thing is only gonna last about a minute, 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean the babysitters here, they're looking great now that Jay Sano that whole Jay Sano debacle is finished, and they can get on with this UHC. But when they surface, the final member of their team is officially out of the Iron Man race.
Yes.
Pack's gonna take a half-hearted damage here.
Now, on the topic of damage, I don't know the exact number. Does anyone know how many hearts Instant Health 2 heals drinkable?
It's four hearts in the modern versions.
4 hearts. So they made 2 batches of Instant Health 2. That's 6. So that's 24 hearts of health they have in potion form in total.
They have 5 left because Jay Sano popped 1.
Oh yeah, Jay Sano drank 1. Yeah, so at the end of the episode, Nebris then sees Triangle, the exact same team, on a hill. So what does Nevers do? He doesn't wait for his teammates to regroup with him. No, he climbs the hill and then yells at the other teammates for being too slow.
Yeah, it's triangle team they run into. As the episode ends, the border is closing in. They can see, I believe, all sides of the border here, and they're getting ready to fight. I think they're about to push triangle team here.
Yeah.
Surprised, to be honest, I was surprised Nevers didn't push them quicker, but quite hesitant. But I guess he was waiting for his team to catch up.
Yeah, I believe Nevers said earlier in the episode that bows are going to be the death of him. Like, he doesn't have arrows, which, I mean, this team has more arrows than a bunch of other teams. But he still feels very unconfident going into an archery battle.
Twice he said, which was quite interesting. Twice he said, "I'm ready to fight." So he's in the mode. With or without arrows, he's ready.
And with or without teammates either. Speaking of triangle team, let's move on to triangle team.
Yeah, let's get into the
how about that transition?
Episode. A few just positives for this team. Badge versus Cave Spiders Volume 2 Electric Boogaloo happens in this episode as he eliminates the second Cave Spider without taking any damage.
I enjoyed that, actually, yeah.
The Cave Spider tried to kamikaze on a teammate. Badge said no, and it's history.
They're going to get 4 apples once they surface in this episode, which, I believe with the gold they have, that's huge for them, allowing them to really heal up and have the health that they'll need moving forward.
And mind you, all of these 4 apples come from just 2 trees and 1 player.
And can I also say that I've very rarely seen someone punching leaves get apples that way, and Badger managed to get 2 out of doing that. So
yeah, the difference between their ability to get leaves and GOB2's team or GOB2 getting apples from leaves.
Yeah, it's vastly different, different outcome.
Yeah. So you remember how Jay Sano spotted Arcus? Well, now Arcus is going to spot Jay Sano. They see a hill. It's turning nighttime. They do their golden apple crafting. So they go up the hill, and Never and Jay Sano, in his perspective, he's surfacing because he's about to leave for 2 minutes, maybe more, but 2 minutes. So what he does is he goes up the staircase to try to 1v3 a team. I don't know what.
I think he was just looking around because he was shifted.
Yeah, so
but he's completely exposed here, and they're gonna see him. So
Yeah.
both teams have spotted each other without the other one knowing.
Yeah, so previously where Jay Sano saw Arcus and Arcus didn't know. Arcus sees Jay Sano and Jay Sano didn't know. So I guess they're even for sighting.
Yeah, and then you get some questionable plays here by Triangle, and this seems to be an every episode occurrence here. Cone's gonna take a heart and a half from mobs, and Arcus, I believe, is also gonna take a heart of damage. And then there's the infamous wood fort debacle.
Oh my god, this house.
Episode.
James, what do you think about their building style?
I must say it was hastily thrown together. It's the politest thing I can think of. But I did like their joke door, their what did they call it, camouflage or something like that.
I want to take you through this house first, but first I'm also gonna just touch up on that damage Code took. So they were on that first hill, and they see the team, so they don't want to engage, so they retreat to a neighboring hill, but not before building a triangle of dicks. That is right. But they retreat to the other hill, and as it's turning that time, so like 2 skeletons block her. So on this other hill, they build that house. This house is great. I mean, it's got everything you want. It's got a wooden floor, no windows, a wool carpet, I guess you can call that a carpet.
Badge had a sniper tower or something that he was building on the roof.
Like just half of a sniper tower.
Yeah. Also, this little fortress they're making, it's in it's right next to the highest part of the hill. Like they are not.
They're on low ground.
In a sniper's nest at all. It is on flat ground. There is a part, I believe, of the hill next to them where someone could just jump onto their fortification and start attacking them.
Yeah, and I mean the 2 fake doors. Dare I say it? It worked because they had 1 door in the back and 2 French doors in the front, but the French doors led to just a cobblestone wall. I mean, you can't break cobblestone or anything, right? So so Badge opens the French doors, and he's like, "Oh, there's nothing here." And then the team celebrated. They're like, "Yes, it worked."
I must say, the whole time Badge was building on the roof, I was thinking, how's he going to get down? I know that's a silly thing to think.
Oh yeah.
and then right at the end, he jumped off and took damage, although it didn't.
No.
It was
Oh yeah,
percentage.
his feather falling boots.
Remember the
Saved-
feather falling boots he got? No
Oh,
damage. I remember, Danny, you said earlier, unless he's thinking about jumping off cliffs, is not going to really help him. Guess
Yeah,
what? He is.
Baz, if you were watching this video, I would like to formally apologize to you for talking crap about those feather falling boots.
Watch, that half heart is going to save him.
Yeah. And he's jumping off because they are running away from the confrontation with this team. I believe they actually realized who they were fighting. They saw that it was Jay Sano, and they realized Green Team's been to the Nether. They have all these supplies. We got to get out of here. And they do at the end of the episode.
Yeah, so they retreat once again. So I don't know how this altercation here is going to play out in episode 6, but we're definitely seeing a lot of meeting. And I don't know how to transition to this team. Classic team, let's go.
Classic team. The transitions happen. Here we are.
This team also happens.
Right off the bat, right at the start of the episode,
Yes.
because I don't know what words are. Kurt is going to make a sharpness 1 iron axe here, giving him 10 attack damage.
Yes, and after that, they surface. Kurt and Ko see some spiders. Kurt in a cave. He jumps down onto that, he has the spider come up to him, very riskily, 2 strings. Ko builds his own spider killing device. And gets 3 string from that. So guess who's better?
Yeah, they kill 3 spiders without taking any damage, and they get string from it, which is great for them.
So
and then
what else is really great is that Avidia Sen spots a temple. Do you want to take us through that?
Yeah. See, Spots and I, we watched the videos together in Avising. And right before they see this temple, I'm talking, I'm saying, hey, they're gonna get a god apple in this chest, a notch apple. Lo and behold, they do. The second notch apple of the series here goes to Classic Team.
I believe in season 26, Kurt also got a notch apple. Like he found it.
The Sonic Joey here, he would be very proud of this team. This episode, our last episode.
It's bad time to not have Sonic Joey. And you know what? They also solved their string problem. 26 string, 6 gold. He also gets the TNT. I mean, this is Kurt rating it. Avidia claims to not know how to rate this.
Yeah, it was 608 in the episode when they get the apples and the chest in the temple. Oh yeah, James, you were.
No, I was just going to say that as Kurt was looking through, he moved from one chest to the other, and he left like 2 gold in one of the chests, and it was that nerve-wracking moment where it's like, is he going to notice? Is he going to go back to it? But thankfully, he goes back and he picks up the 2 golds. But I'm surprised he didn't take the saddle because, I mean, not that there may not be horses in the map, but it's worth it just in case for a quick getaway or something.
I believe at this point
they said that horses were disabled.
They were disabled. Right.
Yeah. So so this team, they go on top of a hill, and this is a different hill from Triangle, and here's why you don't want to go on top of the hill at nighttime.
Oh yes, another thing that I called as we were watching. It's at 10:09. Phantom Spawn. Phantom Spawn and Avidia takes 2.5 hearts of damage.
The Lehigh Valley Phantoms coming down.
Lehigh Valley Phantoms.
And 3 of them swooped down onto Avidia, 2 of them hit, and the third one didn't hit because he was already taking damage. 2.5 hearts. They dig down, and they're beating themselves up over it. They're like, man, I can't believe we let that happen to us. Well, we were thinking about Phantoms in the first episode. Stuff like that, right? Not being kind to each other. So what does Kurt do in response to this? He didn't really ask anyone, so I guess it's not because of their complaining, but he spends 12 of the string that he got from the Desert Temple on a bed, and this isn't the only poor use of resources here, because Co-Star also Co-Star's on this team, right? That's not Dodger. Yeah, Co-Star.
Bowstar, if you will.
Yeah, Bowstar.
Mm-hmm.
He's a real Bowstar because he knows how to enchant them, right?
Oh, not really. Not really.
He uses a Power 1 book on an unenchanted bow. That's kind of a waste of a book, and I know, and I'm gonna say we all like watching these perspectives, but just this podcast is about viewing them analytically, and that was not a smart move. That's an entire book and an entire bow you can't double up on.
And it costs more to double up eventually, as he finds out.
Yes.
Yeah, so they end the episode still in that staircase. Kind of, it was very positive in some aspects and just slightly negative in others. This was a good episode for Classic. Speaking
talk about slight positives and slight negatives here. We go into Orange Team.
Yes, BDSM, which stands for Beef, Dyer, and Seth in Minecraft.
Yeah, you dirty people. Gosh.
So you want to take us through that then?
Sure, I will take us through them. Here we go. Right off the bat of the episode, they're obviously surfacing here. They're gonna get 4 dogs throughout the course of this episode. Through taming and breeding. I believe 2 of them are going to be Beefs and 2 of them are going to be
Dyers.
Dyers.
Yeah, and Seth also tries for a dog, but he uses every single one of his team's 11 bones, and he doesn't get one.
Yeah,
he's a very hungry dog.
Yeah, there were some very hungry dogs in this episode. Had we had some like dogs that may have been fed normally, maybe we would have seen more dogs being on their side. Maybe get an army of dogs.
But I mean, with this bad luck comes great fortune, because Beef kind of just randomly finds 7 bones on the surface.
Yeah, a bunch of just dead skeletons.
Yeah, so that's where he sends Dyer back to get the second dog, and they can start breeding.
Yeah, they find an explored temple.
Yeah, but it doesn't look explored.
Episode. Yeah, it does not look explored. Really good job by the team that found it, putting it back. I believe it was green teams, or not green teams, purple teams from a few episodes ago.
Yeah, that's right. They did get a temple.
Yeah, they cleared it up. Good on them. They get the TNT from the temple, and they have a debacle, a fiasco, if you will, with 3 baby zombies in there. Anybody want to take us through that?
Did they? How much damage did they actually take from that? Because I saw at one point, Seth was swinging right next to Beef. I was kind of worried the sweep attack would get Beef, but he did a pretty good job of blocking them. How much damage did they take?
They take no damage.
Take no damage.
Beef gets hits, and gets no damage.
Okay.
So, yeah, but the three zombies are charging at 3 baby zombies, and this just shows because earlier in 1.9 plus seasons, if 3 baby zombies were to charge you, you'd be dead. But I mean, with what little progress these players have made, they know how to deal in 1.9 PVE, because no one's died yet until episode 7. This is episode 5. Yeah, no one's died until episode 6. I don't think we're gonna break season 22's record for episode 7. Because of all the close proximity. But yeah, the team walks through the desert for the rest of the day. At nightfall, they go down. And they find something very interesting in a cave.
Oh yeah, they found a fossil, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the first fossil I found in, outside of creative and just looking around was in a UHC, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they usually spawn in deserts and swamps, but because they only spawn in those 2 biomes, they're like very rare. But I heard they're common in those biomes though. So
right, yeah.
I've never really found a fossil.
Talking about rare things, they get something that we've only seen now twice in UHC as a projectile protection 3 helmet. For I believe it's Beef here gets it.
No, that's Dire Dwarf again.
Or Dire Dwarf gets.
Dire Dwarf exists.
Dire Dwarf exists. Yeah. Oh gosh darn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I believe the second piece of some sort of protective 3 level 3 enchant on armor.
Yeah. And this might be the last time this team is caving down, because Beef says he doesn't care for caving anymore. It's not really doing them that much good. The only thing that really comes out of this cave is it gave him shelter to set up an enchanting station, and that's where Seth found a random spider, got enough string for another bow, and made a power 2. And they farmed flint, they got arrows, and I mean, overall it was an okay episode. No one took damage. Yeah, that was Orange Team basically.
Yeah, not too much happening for them as opposed to other teams, but I mean, not bad episode for them either.
They're just like every other team underground. They're surfacing next episode, so yeah. So now it's that time where we move away from just the teams and we go into overall thoughts. What did we think of this episode?
James, would you like to start off?
Yeah, so overall, it was. I don't want to say it was much the same as the previous episodes, but it's kind of that point where, well, Seth mentioned it in his episode. The tension is building. They're really just preparing for, well, the inevitable, which will be a PvP fight one way or another, and it was just every team was really just getting together the last of the stuff that they needed. You saw Pink team with the trying to get the apples. You saw Green team trying to brew all the potions in time, and obviously there was the first kind of sighting, I guess, prior to the final battle. So it's getting down to that time when PvP will occur.
Yeah, and so on the topic of Iron Man, the only two, because Pac took damage, the only two people left in the race for Iron Man are both on Orange team, Seth and Beef. But the thing is that Beef got hurt in this episode, but he didn't take damage. So
Yeah, he
would
gets
that
hit.
would that count? Is Seth the
Oh,
Iron Man, or or is the race still on?
Well, I'm gonna make a bold prediction. I'm gonna say the Beef, regardless, is gonna end up taking damage before Seth. Seeing
Oh,
how he's been more reckless in these UHCs. He's been the one kind of venturing forward, while Seth's been kind of towards the back, really. So I'm gonna say that Seth's gonna be the Iron Man, even
That's an
if
interesting
you don't
observation.
count.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
come battle time, usually Seth is the leader. Like he's the one calling out the strats. Usually though. When's
What
the last
Seth?
time Seth and
Was that
Beef
Seth?
won?
You said.
Yeah, Seth.
I was going to say because he's not played as much recently that he's going to take a more conservative role, and Beefin on the other hand he's still plays a lot of Minecraft, so he might be up front for that reason.
Yeah, it's a actually yeah. That makes sense here because a lot of these guys they haven't played in a while. Some of them as much as 2-3 years, and yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, interesting to see how their roles will change once we start to get to PvP. Who's gonna take the lead for each team? Because it looks like Nebris is gonna take the lead, obviously, for Green Team, and it's gonna be between Beef and Seth for Orange Team here. Taking
What
the
about
lead.
Dyer? How much Minecraft does Dyer play normally?
I believe
I'm
he
not 100% sure.
stream. I don't know.
Right.
But
I
he
know-
hasn't been vocal in this UHC.
True.
I know that Seth was playing with friends of his in a small survival world, like a server.
Yeah.
Sometime around this UHC happening, and he's actually getting back into doing, or he has gotten back into doing like technical videos. So he's definitely back in the game.
It just seemed like he came to this with maybe less experience than his other two teammates. That's what I thought anyway.
All right. Should we get into power rankings?
All right, now we're going to
Interesting
move
game.
on to the power rankings. This is who we think is in the best position to win, not necessarily who we're rooting for, just who we predict as the best chance of winning. Let's start off in the number one spot, where I still, for 5 episodes in a row, have Green Team. They have the potions and the leveled up stuff. Nebris said that he has a bad arrow count. Their team has a bad arrow count, but compared to other teams, it's not really that bad. For me, for number one, it came down to which is better, potions or diamond armor, and I had to side with potions.
I think also experience for a Green Team in the sense that Nebris has been there, done it. He's won. Packrat, although he maybe hasn't done as well as Nebris usually, recent seasons has shown that he knows how to. He generally does know how to play the game, and the strategy behind it's maybe more the execution for him. So I think overall, as far as experience goes, the team is pretty strong.
So you're also putting Green as number one?
I am also putting Green at number one.
I'm gonna differ with you guys here. I'm gonna because I'm looking at it here. Green Team, we know they have obviously the best gear.
They also
Well,
have all
not
three
obviously the
people,
best
something
gear.
that we didn't really
They do
expect.
have all 3 people. Yeah, we didn't expect that. But one thing you have to realize, every team now knows that they went to the Nether. Every team knows that they are that they, at the very least, they have some sort of potions, and they're
every
strong and
team-
they have experience.
But every team is doubting their health potions. As you even see, Purple Team is doubting. Chad says Green Team is really low, and Good says that he doesn't believe there are any melons on the map. So as far as everyone else is aware, they think that green team's health is limited
See,
when it's practically infinite.
what I think is going to happen is I think Green's going to find Triangle in this next episode. They're going to take a battle with them, and I think they're going to use their Notch Apple
Oh.
in that fight, which will be good for them. They'll win the fight. They'll beat Triangle Team. But I'm gonna put Classic Team up at number 1
That's a
because they're
huge
not
jump.
gonna use their God Apple next episode.
Isn't that
They are
fourth?
not gonna take a fight next episode. They're going to be playing very conservatively. And I'm gonna take a guess here and say they're gonna be playing very conservatively.
Well, yeah, that's their
That's
nature.
that's well reasoned actually. Yeah, that's a good point.
They might be even going for more gold in this in this episode to try to. Sorry, my voice is going a bit. To try to get more apples and get as much health as possible. They got that sharpness 1 iron axe, which does as much damage as a sharpness 1 diamond axe at 10 attack damage. So their damage isn't too bad. They got pretty decent bows. Obviously, they got Bowstar, the greatest bowmaster of all time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna put Classic Team at number 1.
It's interesting on that point. If I was to look at the teams and think who's going to play the most conservative, who's maybe not going to rush into battle, yeah, blue team would be up there, but also pink team. So those are like two teams that might kind of sit back and let things play out.
I imagine Good and Chad both being the go get 'em type people, though.
I don't know. I feel like from watching Good's perspectives over the years, he's often quite hesitant, really.
Well, definitely
kind of
not
just
Chad.
maybe not so much Chad, but I feel like Good can have his personality might withdraw the team.
And with Classic Team, you do have those 3 really chill people. I mean, you have a Vidizen after all.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you also do have the Diamond Armor, and that's why I'm putting them in my number 2 spot.
So you're putting blue team number 2, yeah?
Classic.
Dark blue.
Classic, yeah.
Right, okay. I'm going to differ. I'm going to edge towards orange team or gold team or the Dyer, Seth, and Vintage Beef team.
Orange team.
Only on the basis that I feel like Beef's experience in Minecraft is well, certainly recently is a lot bigger, and I feel like he's become one of the more, I don't want to say competent, but one of the good players in these latter UHCs. I feel like he's going to do a job for them in PvP and really just strategy and whatnot. I don't want to write off Seth or Dyer either. I actually rate Dyer quite highly at UHC. I don't think he's won a Minecraft one, but I think he's done all right in the past. But obviously the question comes down to the first fight. Is the first fight going to be detrimental, or are they going to use all their arrows, all their healing? Are they going to use their resources on it? But I do think they're definitely my number 2 just because of Beef's experience.
I got Green at number 2. I think that once they kill Triangle, I think they'll be out of their God Apple, but Triangle's got so much gold that they'll have healing. But then in a fight again against Classic, I don't think they'd be able to beat them. But against any other team after Triangle, they would be able
With
to
Green
kill
Team,
them.
you don't really have to worry about gold for healing.
Well, yeah, but they'll have golden apples, which will give them the extra 2 hearts with the absorption.
Right there.
And of course, they have their health potions.
The thing with the reason I have Classic high, but I mean, like, I rated Classic 5th place last episode, is they got their bows, and they even got a Notch Apple on top of that, and they have the Diamond Armor and Prot 3 in some places. So, I mean, they are a tough contender, but I would still rate them lower than Green on the basis that yes, they do have a Notch Apple that's gonna take them. They do have a Notch Apple that's gonna probably get used really early, but they also have those speed and the poison potions, along with the health potions that we've been talking about.
I guess part of the reason I'm not so sure about blue team, and if I'm allowed to move on, this is why I've got them at number 3. The reason for that is because I feel like although they're maybe playing more conservatively and not getting involved, that might be detrimental to their chances in the sense that the opportune moment might pass them by, if you like, before they've made a move. I've seen that before in Minecraft UHCs, and I feel it might be detrimental to them. There might be a good moment for them to engage, and they don't take it.
I got orange then at number 3 for me. I was looking at the dogs. I was thinking about the dogs a lot, seeing if that moves them up or down. I don't see them providing too much of an advantage in combat, especially with a lot of teams using swords instead of axes, where you get the sweeping edge and you can attack multiple at once, and obviously knock them back multiple at once. They didn't make too many advances in this episode, but of course you can't argue with the experience and the brains of this team, so I can't see them falling past 3 until they die.
Okay. I also have Orange Team at 3, and 3 is as low as I'm willing to put them. You're kind of right about the dogs. I mean, I forgot about them, but let's just say, yeah, I also agree that they're not going to really be doing much in battle. Beside maybe like a half a second distraction, but I don't see them really doing much damage at all. There are plenty of times in 1.9 plus seasons, Minecraft, where someone had a dog and they were way too overconfident because of the dog. And yeah, that's basically it. Orange Team also has like all the positives that the other 2 teams have, minus the potions and the high level armor. They are middle of the road, and I believe that's where they belong in this episode, just not anywhere lower than that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I got purple then at 4, mainly because they reset their sleeping, which is something that you don't see a lot of teams doing. So maybe if this season goes on a little longer, that'll help them. But they don't have the armor or the weapons to really compete with any of the higher tier teams. These last 2 teams, I would say, are kind of the secondary tier here. Of course, they lose the apple to a despawn. They don't even get the health from it or anything. So that's a huge negative for them.
Good health.
Yeah,
like the way he loses health at the end of the episode.
3 hearts. And the diamond swords, the sharpness 2 is good, but the sharpness 1 diamond swords aren't going to be too. They're not. It's not an advantage in combat. They're with everybody else in swords, and they're behind in armor and healing. So yeah, I have them at 4.
It's an interesting one. I guess we didn't really speak about it, but they had 8 diamonds and they made 4 swords. And the interesting thing would be, with 8 diamonds, what else could you make? You can make a chest plate, you can make 2 pairs of boots, you can make a helmet and a sword, you can make boots and a sword, or 2 swords.
2 axes and a sword.
2 axes and a sword. So there's all sorts of ways you could divide that. And the question is, have they done themselves justice? Now, I look at the teams we've placed higher, and they've all got something that makes them stand out, whether it be pots, experience, diamond armor, excess diamond armor in a way. But for them, there's nothing that really makes them stand out. And as we've already touched on, they've lost health, they've lost an apple to a despawn, and coming back to the conservative nature, I feel like they too can be a candidate for missing the opportune moment for engagement. There's nothing that really puts them above the other 3, so that's why I also have them at 4.
Yeah, I also have Gob 2 at 4 place. Now, gear-wise, I would put them below Triangle, but this is a very interesting situation where normally I would put Triangle in 4th, but Gob in 5th, is that Gob is in the least likely position to fight. And being the bottom 2 teams, if they're going to fight, they're probably going to lose to the teams above them, which leaves no other option. And being that Triangle is most likely to fight next episode, it's the only reason I have them below Gob 2. And James, what you said about standing out, it was very interesting. I mean, I haven't really heard that one before, but you're completely correct. I mean, there's nothing that makes Gob 2 or Triangle stand out. But I'm going to have to give the edge to Gob 2, being that I don't even know why, beside proximity to other teams. I guess they all have power 2s. Brion is about to make a power 3. That would be okay, but their arrow count has significantly gone down from their episode 1 and 2 hype of the archery advantage.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing I was thinking about was Brion, like at the start of the UC, came across as someone who knew what he was doing, as if he'd done this before, kind of thing. To the point where he's pointing things out to teammates or whatnot, what they should or shouldn't be doing. And then obviously Chad has done well, good one, season 27. So individually, I think they've all got their strengths in this. But yeah, going back to what we've been speaking about, there's no advantage they really have over the top 3.
Then we get to number 5 here,
Yeah,
and I think we all have Triangle Team.
Yeah, number 5.
Yeah, I mean they get some apples in this episode, and I think they make golden apples. But another thing with apples, I think it's the third episode in a row now. They've wasted an apple before PvP with them. I think they popped an apple and then they started to run away from the fight, which I think the absorption hearts will then run out before Green catches up and starts fighting them. They don't have high tier armor. They don't have high tier weapons. I mean, I like these guys.
They are definitely the most fun to watch.
Yeah, they're the most fun perspective, I would say.
And not by much either. It's a really fun season.
Everyone's great to watch. Obviously, these guys are all professionals. They're great. They're fun. Awesome commentary from these guys. Triangle, especially with their phallic triangles here in this episode, and their base building. But I don't see them coming out of a fight with just about any team on top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I think one of the questions I ask when thinking about that team is, are they ready? And the fact they're retreating, which probably rightly so. I mean, they realised they didn't really have an advantage where they were, but I feel like if they engage at the start of episode 6 with Debris' team, I feel like they won't be ready. It'll be chaotic, and I think the only way they'll do damage or win will be if Arcus pulls off another. I can't remember what season it was, but the one where he stayed alive right to the end and stuck up on the last team and completely did them.
I think 14.
Was it 14? Or no,
Rumble season. He was teamed with Pause, or are you thinking about another one?
No, I'm thinking about another one. It was another one that I think it was an Ice Spikes meetup where he hid, and then I think that's the only way they're going to do it. I don't think, as you say, up against all the other teams, I don't see them coming out on top, and just their chaotic nature really is what brings that out.
Yeah, the thing about Triangle is that I had them at third last episode, and purely because the last episode for them was a great catch-up episode. They did a lot of good things in that one. But this episode, they were roaming around on the surface even at nighttime. They made no progress beside getting 4 apples, and even then they crafted maybe 2 apples, and they said they're going to save it until they see someone. And even then, we have Cone Dodger eating the apple early. And I mean, I'm rating them at 5 purely because of what is it? Anxiety of next episode? Is that also does that also apply to other people? Or am I the only one rating them because of their geographical position?
Yeah, the geographical position does also put them.
I didn't think about it, but I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously I'd be surprised if they make it out of the next episode. Not saying that they're bad or anything, but just because Green is right there, and it would be a miracle if Green somehow loses them. I mean, from them running away.
And we can't forget, we're not limited to just one fight per episode.
We're saying probably going to see a couple fights per episode.
Saying Triangle is most chance of dying first, but I mean, there are a lot of other teams that could seemingly run into each other that we're not even predicting right now because the map is super small. Arcus even said, as he climbed up the hill, that he can see 3 of the 4 border walls.
And we'll see how that contributes to the following episodes, but I think we've covered everything in this one.
Yes, episode 6, definitely gonna be a good one. You might want to subscribe and ring that bell, nudge, nudge, if you want to catch us talking about that. We're probably gonna see a fight. I know I said the same thing about episode 5, but I'm getting more and more sure as the series goes on.
Yeah, wink, wink. You should really subscribe and ring that bell icon. It'd be great for everybody involved. And I would like to personally thank Mr. James Douglas here for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It was good to discuss it with you.
If you have anything to plug, now would be the time.
Not really. I make YouTube videos on a channel. Could you leave a link in the description, please? Because I can't remember the URL. Yeah, so it's just for fun, but mainly gaming stuff.
Usually we post these episodes to the Mindcrack and Ultra Hardcore subreddits. We thank all of them for supporting us and even leaving a few inspirational comments on them. And if you like what you heard for episode 5, we did the exact same thing for episodes 1 through 4, just with different guests. They are also on the same channel as this episode is uploaded on.
Yes, we'll do the same for the next 20 episodes.
Yeah, I think that is all that has to be said. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in 2 days.
Yep, catch you on the flip side, guys.
Bye.